Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to see and discuss how we can what are all parameter. So if you can go vim /etc/ansible/ansible ansible.cfg. If you go here, there are a couple of things you need to understand. So we are seeing the defaults, right? Probably we can open a server in another window also. I'm just opening the server in another putty window. Let's wait. So that how you need to customize your each environment, it's up to you, but you need to understand couple of parameters to do that. Sudo su hyphen ansible. So what we can do is we can go with the dev. Okay, we will open ansible.cfg. I will keep it. Okay, so that I can just expand this. Are you seeing my screen? I opened the ansible.cfg file. Are you able to see the screen, right? Okay, so now I'm just going here. Let's stop this. I'm going here. So first of all, you want to change some different inventory location. Normally, this is how it's going to be, because the inventory it has to be a common location. So put it in the not your home directory. Yesterday we seen the roles also. Put it in some common directory, right? And what is this Paul interval? So what is mean by forks? So you need to understand these are all. So if you go here, come down. So we will have some understanding before going to these parameters. So whenever you create any playbook, right, you need to first understand the forks. If you by default it will be a 5, but anyway we have only one node or two node. Suppose if you can create a 5 machine or 10 machine and attach it with Ansible in your lab, then your expectation is whenever I execute a playbook, it has to connect everything, minimum 6 servers at a time, 6 servers at a time, 10 servers. But you have to be very careful. It depends on. So this is the parameter, right? And Paul interval means whenever you want to have some polling, right? So you can utilize by default. These are all by default settings, seconds. So if you want to increase, you don't touch. One more advice is don't touch the main configuration file, etc ansible ansible.cfg. Never ever touch. But if you want to do something, copy this. You don't need to worry about how the syntax p should be caps or I should be caps. Everything is there by default. So copy this, go to your actual environment related configuration file, and here you paste it. So here you modify it, whatever according to your environment related expectation, but never touch your global configuration file. Okay, so this is global configuration file. What is the global configuration file? This is your global configuration file. etc ansible. Until you are very confident, because if you change this file, the entire machine will be applicable. Please remember, if you change anything in this file, this changes will be applicable the whole machine. I mean the entire Ansible server. So understand the settings, but you go and apply your environment related Ansible.cfg, not the global file. Basically, the global file is, this is the one, /etc/ansible Ansible.cfg. Okay, this is the global file. Global configuration file. But if you want to change anything, you go and change your home Ansible. Okay, dev. This is my environment. So change it here. Maybe change it this parameter. This parameter. Say for example, development environment. I need different settings. Okay, so you can change it. But the another one, we have another environment. Say SIT or production. You need a different set values. So you change it here. Are you clear in this? Before we proceed further settings. So basically, you should not touch, but get the options from global configuration file, because we don't know what is the exact syntax. This is also people are really missing in the most of the time learning, and even during the support. They by mistake they are trying to, because they want to resolve the issue. It's fine, but don't tamper anything in the global configuration file. Ravi, something you try to ask. Okay, so I'm just going back to this machine. Here, by default, the remote port is SSH port and module line. Normally, the SSH port, if you want to have more customized, or most of the production, they have a different port. But you need to configure in the Linux level everything. Then you come here. But that also, you need to make sure the global configuration file are not touching anything. Okay, if you want, you can go and put. And one more thing, they clearly mentioned this settings should come under which section. This is the section. If you go and see the file, where is this? Yes, this is a file. So default section, privilege underscore escalation is the section. So you need to, you cannot put this in here. Okay, so I'm just going here. Come down. There are a couple of things. Okay, so how many of you watched gather underscore facts? True or false? Gather underscore facts.
Watched Vijay in our
Okay,
previous
so
sessions.
here you understand, right? This output, whenever I execute, see here, I will just come out because I want to show you. Ansible all -m setup. It is a huge output, right? Why? Because it's collecting all. Network is collecting, hardware is collecting, virtual related collecting, and almost all. Because by default, it's saying gather subset all. But if you want to say, for example, your playbook is related to network or playbook, because now only one machine, Raj. So that is why it's very fast. But you imagine 500 server environment or 1000 server environment. This this is going to be really time consuming. You agree, right?
Yes, Vijay.
So in that case, you need to make sure what exactly you are trying to achieve in the playbook. Maybe you put this scenario. I'm trying to collect all server related. In that case, you need only this, correct? Maybe you need these three, not definitely all, correct?
Correct. So
So
these are all subfactors.
these are the way you can fine tune and improve your execution performance. But now with your lab, learning lab, you cannot see this difference because you have only one machine or two machine, maximum three machine, node 1, node 2, node 3. But in production, there will be a huge set of servers which you may need to consider all these parameters before you proceed anything. Each and every single playbook creation, you need to understand what is that, what is that, what is that. Are you clear in this?
Yes, Vijay.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go further. Okay, so here, suppose, what is this? Any idea? When this will be very useful?
So in some cases in gathering, if anything got hung, so it will wait for some 10 seconds and it will go to the next.
In what cases, if you increase this timing, will let you to go for more crisis? Yeah. So if you yes, Mahendra. So if you have say rack servers or more huge hardware, you are trying to analyze those kind of thing. It's not really within 10 seconds you can collect all the details. So it may take more than that. So it's entirely depends on what environment you are trying to handle. So accordingly, you need to define this.
So if it is by default, after 10 seconds, whether the gathering will in between stop and comes for the next, Vijay?
Say, for example, I'm just going for a new diagram. So if you get something, say, for example, this is an Ansible. This is a lot of node client. So if you try to execute, okay, within 10 seconds, I'm my expectation. But if it is delayed, automatically this will be timed out. So sometimes if you see such errors, so you need to make sure it's not a error, it's actual error, or while collecting from the huge hardware. Of course, it will take some time. But by the time this limitation is going to show, so you need to group accordingly. The reason why I'm explaining this is we have faced so many issues with respect to mixed of servers. Okay, so whenever we get a error, later we realize it's not a error. It is taking actual time. So you need to have a careful grouping. This is very important if you want to increase your playbook or Ansible related automation performance. So you need to make sure all those kind of big rack servers should be part of different group. All application related should be part of different groups. So the more you categorize, the more it will be easy, Raj. So you can very well say, okay, okay. And another thing is, how do you define this? Suppose you are not interested to put it in Ansible.cfg, but one particular playbook which you are running, that playbook you are going to run with some bigger machine or bigger servers. In that case, you need to have more time. Simple. You create a playbook before task. You give this with whatever seconds you want to increase. You are getting the point.
Yes, only for that particular playbook.
Yes. So the normally whenever you give, see, the idea is here. If you give, it's the same the variable concept also. If you give these values in your single playbook, this is taking the first precedence. Okay, if you don't give, and if you can configure your Ansible.cfg, your environment related, this is going to take preference. Okay, if the settings is not here, then it is going to take the global precedence. Say, for example, here I'm saying 10 seconds. Here I'm saying 15 seconds. Here I'm saying 20 seconds. It will take only 10 seconds because local precedence is always more than here. Okay, if it is not mentioned here, then it will go and take this. If not mentioned here, it will go and take the default one. Are you clear, Raj?
Yes,
This is applicable. This is applicable for all the settings, not only the settings. So even the variable also, if you can see my video, global variable and local variable, but normally local is not preferred. So better you go with this, but these kind of settings definitely you cannot say all situation you can have the same, right? Sometimes some of the playbook is particular to some bigger ones. So those kind of settings, you make sure the relevant playbook putting into these values. Correct?
Yes, yes, Vijay.
Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue gather timeout. See here, now you are understanding from where all this you can take it. Don't think it's a hashed, it's a default value. The reason why they given this file is to make sure you are not missing out anything. Even if you say hey, roles underscore path, but R should be caps, P should be caps. No need any confusion. Come to here and take this and put it in your Ansible.cfg file, and only this is going to be changed. Correct?
Correct. That based on the environment, like
Based on
dev.
the environment, based on the project, based on the your deliverables. This directory where you are going to keep the roles. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now I said right, by default uncomment this to disable SSH key ghost checking. So if you in your environment, most of the environment, you need to think whether you want to authenticate via password or key. So accordingly, you need to decide this. If you ask me, I would prefer to go with the key, not password. So forget about the Ansible. In previously in Linux, you all aware, right? We used to copy even this command previously not there. This command, how many of you started your career without this command?
Yeah. So this one was new one based on our JIT only. I know. Previously we used to do a SCP.
SCP and copy the file ID IDRS file to authorized underscore keys 2 keys 3 kind of thing, or one single file you can concatenate. Correct?
Correct. To the destination server.
Yeah. So after this command, it's very easy for us. It's a very easy. So previously, still I remember, it's a very challenging. Most of the time, it will get confused. What file and what name we need to copy in all the missions. Okay. So now I'm coming back here. I'm just going with all important ones. See here, SSH. This is also one of the important parameter. So if by default 10, if the mission is something down, because you cannot control all the servers. There may be a server they taken out for maintenance. There may be a server for some crash. There may be a server some peak load which you cannot do SSH due to fork error. How many of you face the fork error? Fork. You cannot log into the server because
Yes.
there is no free resources available.
Yeah, mostly memory related.
Yes. So in that case, so you need to be very careful how to handle the group of servers which you are working in. And come down. Yesterday, who asked the become user?
Yeah, myself.
Yeah. Okay. So
Privilege.
here, if you have a say, for example, I'm just going to give you a simple example. Who am I? Which ID I am? Which ID I am? Which user I logged in? Ansible, right?
Answer. Yeah.
But I want to do everything as a one designated dev Ansible because it's a development environment. What you'll do? What you'll do?
So in become user, we have to change to the respective.
No, this one. See, so can you go on? So default user to use your playbook if user is not specified. So here we are having Ansible, the same Ansible user communicating to other server. Those servers also Ansible user is there. So it's fine. But normally in production, there will be a functional user ID. You agree, right?
Yes, Ajay.
So normally how you will define. So this is how you will define. So this file always, if you want, you can take a backup and put it in your GitHub repository. Probably I can also store it if you want. So you can refer. So logging is only off. So this is where you need to configure first. So if you copy this, so you need to mention where you need to. So copy this. I'm going here. I'm just pasting it. So say, for example, development environment, you want to store in, say, you have some directory created. We'll do one thing. We'll go with var temp in that Ansible, sorry, dev Ansible. This is the development environment. So in SIT, you go and say var temp SIT Ansible directory. So in that case, if you go to var temp, you will see each environment directory. Inside those each environment directory, you will find the relevant log file. Or you can go with the var temp dev ansible.log, SIT ansible.log. So like that also you can put it. It's up to you how you categorize. But please make sure whatever you do, if you have a multiple environments, you need to be first do some mind map. How my environment going to be? Okay, I'm just going to save it. Oh, sorry. Going to save this. We will execute some file. Okay. As of now, tail F. We will do one thing. We will again log in one more server. Sorry for logging more servers. This is how we need to get some good. Parallelly, we need to track it. Okay, so here sudo su hyphen ansible cd dev. Okay, and then I'm going to say sudo. Okay, I'm just going to exit because we need to create a directory, right? We have to create a directory, right? Cat ansible.cfg. We need to create this directory, right? Everyone, dev ansible.
Yes. Yes, sir. So that
Let's
one.
yeah. So sudo su cd var temp cd/var/temp mkdir dev ansible cd dev ansible. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we will check the permission. ls-ltrh, sorry. Change mod, or we can make the ownership as Ansible. Seven 5. Purpose Ansible. So now what we are going to do is we are going to say tail of what is the log file we given ansible.log. So give dev.ansible log. So first we will create that file. How do we create? Just execute one playbook, anything, any playbook. Ansible -playbook. Yeah, Ansible -playbook, and then is the user create. So let's go and say create. Okay, now. Okay, so now we will do one thing. We will clear out the things. Okay, so now we will go back to here and say execute. Raj, everybody, are you able to see the backend? The log is getting recorded.
Yes, yes, Vijay.
So for that, you need to have this one, you need to configure it. So to configure, if you are getting confused, okay, what parameter, how to do it, simple. This is why the global configuration file going to help you a lot. If you understand the global configuration, but don't touch the global configuration file. Okay.
So these log files will have some only log related to Ansible, like we used to see where log messages, right, for Linux.
No, but in this log file, if you see which play, see this play, and what is happening, everything you will get it. Even you can go more verbose also.
Okay, so like when we execute the command, what we are seeing in the
Yes,
screen,
when you
that will be
execute anything in playbook, automatically it will go and record it here. This is really must. When you want to implement any Ansible environment, first you need to enable the logging. It doesn't matter whether there is a issue, but if there is a issue, you need artifacts, right? You need to whenever you resolve one issue, you will create some RCA. So for that RCA, you need to attach what has happened, right? What happened, and after resolution, what how it looks like. Both you need to mention it, right?
correct.
So from where you will get all this specific to Ansible.
Okay.
You understand, Raj?
Yes, yes, got it.
Okay. So now I'm going for here. I'm going next one. Come down. So normally this is, if you want, you can go for it. By default, if you want to have any differential, but this is most of the time you can leave. Come down. Yeah. So you asked this, right? So the Jinja 2. Okay. So the Jinja 2, they even you can exclude. If you see people are creating in a different format, you can even restrict. Oh, okay. If you create .j2 only, I can accept. Or if you can create some extension, only I can accept. So you can define your project, your environment related parameters. So that you need to mention it here. So
Oh,
as per this, what is happening? Even you create a .ext.do, uh, it will work. Even if you create .ext .i18n, it will work. Even if you say .raj, but you need to declare here. Correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. What is mean by Jinja 2? It's a good question. So I'm just going to here. I'm just going the day 11. Let's see. I can open up some fun or the one which we seen yesterday, roles. Okay, sorry. I can just extract it. Maybe host templates. Okay, see if you see here, are you able to see the my desktop? Muthu, are you able to see? Okay, so here, hope you observed one of the class. I have explained copy West template. The same file, if you copy using copy module, you are not going to get anything. Just a file will be copied. But the same file, if you copy via template module, while copying, it will collect the factor variables and factor variable values will be replaced and it will be copied. Right? Have you can you recollect that session? Whatever I explained. Muthu? Okay, so right click, say notepad. See here. So this is basically a one config file for web server. But the idea here is whenever I want to copy, right? But I need to copy as an individual machine, right? So what is the actual thing? Say, for example, as per this file, I'm just going to delete. OK, so for example, I'm just going here. I have 100 web servers. Jinja to robust, I'm saying. OK. No. It's not a backup. Can you just raise your hand? I will unmute. OK. Can you just start ask? Maybe there is a confusion I'm seeing.
Yeah, Vijay. It is like taking a backup and saving the file.
No. Jinja 2 is something. Say for okay. Okay, I understand your confusion. Okay, so Jinja 2, are you able to see this? So can you tell me what is special in this? Why we are making as a Jinja 2 template? What is the special in this? It looks like normal web server configuration file.
Yeah, the dynamic values.
See, there is a factor variables. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
So if I want to copy this machine, say for example, this machine name is node 1. Okay, and this machine name is node 2. This machine name is node 3. This machine name is node 4. This machine name is node 5. This machine name is node 6. So in that case, you need to define. You can copy this file, but you need to replace all the values with respect to node 1. So how you will look like? This is going to be node 1. Okay. So you have to do like this, right? Node 1. Correct or not?
Yes.
So you need to do like this, right? You need to do like this, but to do this in 300 web servers, do you think it's an easy task or it's a massive task?
No, it's not easy.
Yeah. So yeah, go on mute. So this is maybe it looks like very simple, but every time, every machine while copying, even the new machine added, it is going to be like this. It is going to be a really tough. But we expect this has to be completed within 5 minutes. Which first you need to prepare the file, how it will look like, how the file we need. Then you observe what all parameter is going to change. Machine 1 and machine 2 and machine 3. Definitely this is the parameter going to change. Correct? Raj, everybody.
Yes.
So what is the factor? Either you can go with the custom or you can go with the dynamic. So what is that? So you need to first decide that and replace it. Okay, and prepare. So now the file is prepared, correct? I'm going to just revert back. So the file is prepared, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now once the file is prepared and saved in Jinja 2, then copy. I'll just show you. Copy this. Simple. Go to Ansible server. I'm going to say vim, okay, copy.yaml file, okay, insert --, enter name, copy 𝐿𝐿 files to servers. But we have only one machine, but I'm just giving an idea. So I'm just going to say host all tasks, okay, and then what is that? I'm going to say -name, copy the J2 file, okay, template, and then how you will do it. So I'm just going to my vhost and going to task. I'm going to main.yaml. So here you are saying source vhost. So you need to mention this. OK, so I'm going to just say this. OK, so now what I'm going to do is we don't have any HTTPD install. So we can do one thing. Just I can go with say var temp, because we need to just test it. Var temp. We will copy in that directory. That's fine. We just want to see. OK, so now I'm saving it. Where this vhost.j2, I can put it in the same directory. Where this file vhost.conf.j2 .conf.j2. OK, and then I'm saving it. Now Ansible -playbook, OK, copy.yaml. So while running this copy.yaml, it will check, OK, vhost.conf.j2 file, take it and copy it. But while copying, oh yes, there is a factors variable. So I need to make sure replace the equivalent values and then I need to copy. See here. So copied. Can we go and check in the node 1? Okay, where is that? Var cd var temp ls. So there is a vhost.conf. vhost.conf. Can you see this? Muthu, Raj, everybody. Are you able to understand now?
Yes, Vijay, yes, I got it.
So now you come back this settings. So now what extension you want to allow? Raj, you now clear?
Yes, yes, Vijay.
So
Dot
suppose
J2 or
some environment only you need to apply the settings. You make sure this information you put it in the relevant environment Ansible.cfg. Are you clear? See,
yes, Vijay.
the performance tuning is not about increasing or continuously improving your CPU or memory. These are all settings also will help you to execute your playbook in an effective way. So the playbook is getting executed very fast. Of course, you are improving your performance. That's what I can claim myself. Correct?
Yes, Vijay. And here from the playbooks, whatever we are running, so it is running like node 1, node 2 on a sequence base, right? So are we able to run it in parallelly on all two servers?
Yeah. If you go and watch, probably I will just show you sometime later. Oh, this file is really important. Hope you understand now. This file, if you have some customized settings or you want to understand how this default settings works, then how you need to tamper it. This is called re-engineering. So normally you learn something and then take this kind of a file. This kind of a file, every product is available, Nginx or HTTP. Go to the file, even http.conf. So you can go to that configuration file and do all changes and try to create a problem. Then you resolve it. Even the Tomcat.xml. So you go and change the configuration. Even if it is wrong, you will get an error. Try to fix it. So then you can claim yourself, yes, I have a real-time experience. These are all only you will get into the actual issues where you can fix it or you can enhance it. Okay, come down. Okay, system warnings, if you want, you can disable, but I would prefer don't do that. Even we have seen deprecation warnings. These are all already is there by default. If you want to tamper it in your environment Ansible.cfg, not in global. And if you are creating some custom module, they are also possible. But only thing is you need to declare the correct directories. Wait, let me just go a couple of other important one. Okay, if there is any error, okay, by default, in the current directory, it will create Ansible retry. We will do one thing. We will switch on the switch off the node 1 server. Stop it. Okay, and then we will go here, stopping and refresh it. Okay, so now forcibly, because I want to create the scenario. So I have switched off. So now we are going to execute this. Okay, ls-ltrh. Okay, suppose if you want to have, this is unreachable. Suppose if you have any issues, right? Then you want to create the retry files where you want to have the Ansible.retry. Copy this, go here or go here, VIM Ansible.cfg. Okay, and then go here, insert, and paste it. Okay, and then I'm going to execute again. Let's see. -lh. It's not getting created. Ansible.cfg, and by default it's going for home. Are you able to see this? The moment we enabled, by default it is false. These are all you can go and enable it, because these are all you need. Because when you run 100 servers or 200 servers, definitely there will be a 1% of the servers may be problem, non-reachable, right? So you can go here and see there is a file. Okay, home Ansible copy.retry. Okay, the home directory, it is getting created. Even you can go here and see what all the files got created. ls-ltrh. Sorry. Not in this. We can go with the cat and see what is there in this file. See, node 1 we have switched off, right? Raj, everybody. So this file will have what all machines this playbook not able to execute it. So finally, after executed 300 servers, if you go and see the file, you can easily identify, okay, still these servers are not able to proceed. So you can concentrate that servers, and maybe you can try out different time before. But before that, now you know what are the servers in 100 servers. So you can first troubleshoot why the Ansible server is not able to reach and not able to execute. Is everyone clear? Muthu, Raj, everybody.
Yes, Vijay. So this option has to be true to achieve that one.
Yes.
Right?
So you just make sure, but do everything on your. You keep one thing, even in the production or anything. You keep one Ansible dev environment where you definitely will have at least one server for your testing purpose, right? You make sure that server you play everything, but the settings is going to be the same. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now come down. Because there are a couple of options it will be really useful when you go for a support or some configuration changes. See here, if you want to go away from extension, say this is really useful. Who asked the dynamic inventory section? I think
Kishore, I think.
Kishore, I think he's not in. Okay, so suppose if in that directory you had some backup file, you had some copied file, you had, so we are not sure. You may have some more files also, right? Kishore? So in that case, say for example, I will tell you the actual issue. Okay. Can we just switch on this machine, because we need this machine? Okay, in the meantime, we will go and configure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say okay. I'm going to say go to cd/var/temp. Okay, and then we can create a inventory here. Say host inventory, and then cd host. Okay, move /home/ansible /dev/host to here. Okay, I'm renaming this file, say inventory1. Okay, I'm also copying the host. Sorry, now it changed. Inventory1 to say project1 servers. I'm also copying inventory equal that to project2 servers. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ls. See, there is a 3 inventory file. Kishore, if you want, you can unmute so that we can have an interactive way to configure this. So now this is one project, Raj. This is one project. This is one project. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say in what is there. So node 1. Say for example, I'm going for a project 1. You tell me some machine name. So according to your project, I can say project 1 server 1. Okay, and project 1 server 2, project 1 server 3. Okay, and VIM project 2. So here I'm going to say project 2 server 1, project 2 server 2. So project 2 server. No, there is a typo mistake there. So now, Kishore, now we have see here there is a 3 inventory file. Now I want to because people used to do in production or in server, wherever they go, they do a lot of things which actually should not. But of course, I am doing the same junk work. Project 1 dot project 1 to project 1, because I'm in fear. So I'm just taking a backup. See, there is a actually the Ansible should read only this, not in this, correct? Raj, everybody. Because
Yes.
if start do all the file in this directory, that then it will be a real issue, correct? Correct or not?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So now I want to tell my Ansible, don't do that. Okay, so we will go back to the home slash Ansible/dev. Okay, and then we need to declare it to where Ansible.cfg, VIM Ansible.cfg. So I need to say, oh, inventory is not here. You need to always go to this directory var temp and then host. This is the directory we created, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we will see how do we ensure Ansible all -- list. Are you clear in this now? Are you clear? So now why I started this testing is, so here if you want to have any thing you want to ignore, the files, maybe the inventory have a lot of Python scripts or some backup file or some text file. Those are all you don't need, right? So you need to be very careful what files you want to, what files are not actual inventory files. So those are all you can declare it here itself. I mean the default they mentioned, but if you want, you can copy this and declare it in your environment related Ansible.cfg file, and you can go for it. Is everyone clear, or I'll explain again? Is everyone
Got it.
clear, or I will explain again? Okay, so now I'm just going here again. Are you able to recognize somewhere we seen this, right?
Yeah, in config.file, cfg file. So this will be used to give sudo for the Ansible user.
Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to come here. So what is mean by 𝐵? Any idea?
While installing Ansible, you are telling that options.
Yeah. So 𝐵 is, say, for example, you have some Ansible environment where your clients are less version. Okay, so 𝐵 will help a lot. While installing Ansible itself, if you carefully observe, this package also will be installed. So normally, this will help you to establish the connection. Okay, so if you face any issue, because the CentOS by default 𝐵 will be installed whenever you install Ansible. But if you go with Red Hat Linux, then definitely you need to install separately, because so far I've seen most of the time the dependency are not proper. Means they will concentrate on only Ansible, but you need to make sure, okay, what you are going to do. I'm going to connect all different flavors. Then what is the key driver? So that you need to make sure to install everything to establish the proper connectivity. Okay, come down. So there is a SSH connection also. You can mention a particular one. These are all only I explained in the performance tuning and all. So this file is really useful if you spend some time, understand it. Come down. This also, but don't tamper anything. If you want to play, take this and put it in your environment related Ansible.cfg file and do it. By default, Raj, you asked, right? After 5 minutes. So by default, that timeout will happen. But during that time, there will be a 3 SSH establishment will happen. So if you want to have more, then go for it. But you please make sure doing it in your testing environment, not play in the production environment. Okay. Are you clear? Okay, I'm just going down. These colors and all not important. Okay, now we will go back. I'm not changing anything.
Vijay, here that SC Linux was mentioned. So like Linux one. So does it
Which one?
require
SC
SC
Linux.
at the last?
This one, right?
Yeah.
Or wait. So if you want to have, then you need to mention, because SC Linux is basically you know the change county and all, right? The Linux level.
Yeah, some related to.
Yeah. So first you need to make sure the security point of view. Mostly this is will help on Red Hat Linux based flavors. But you need to make sure what exactly. But most of the time these are all addressed when you provision your production server. That is what yesterday I told, right? That a huge hardening towards your production readiness.
Okay.
So, but still Ansible want to have a specific, then you need to declare it. By default, if you see here, already most of the common one are declared. So, so you no need to worry about this, but if you want, you can establish the specific one. But these are all already covered, most of our, but if you take the 8 version, there is a different one. What is the different file system? By default file system, what is the default file system from 8 version?
XFS?
Yes. So if you want, you can go for it. But I'm sure if you install the latest version, I think this will be cleared out.
And this Ansible master and client, if it is in different versions, so
No, that is why we are establishing all the modules like param key, everything, right?
Okay. So that's
See,
not
that is not as long as the authentication is successful, that is fine. But this is something you are going to handle the different mount point drivers.
Okay.
File system.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Now, what we can do is, how many of you trying to understand the Kubernetes part and the application part? Tell me so that I can quickly create and show you. Because there was, okay, one more person asked get.docker.com. Okay, see, through this, you can install quickly. I don't know who asked in the Excel sheet, but if you go and every time if you want to establish the Docker, if you install this, definitely you will not learn anything. That's what my experience. Normally, these are all you put it in a last stage. Once you comfort from manual car, once you comfort from all steps, once you comfort from what you are doing, then go for it. Till the time, don't go with this kind of a scripts. I know we need to be very quick, but not during your start. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly remove this. I'm going to just remove all this. First, we will create a machine. Okay, master and node 1, node 2. Okay, so here master come down. Minimum 2 CPU, 4 GB memory is minimum. So we will go with Ubuntu. Where is Ubuntu? Okay, Ubuntu. And we will go with the minimum 18. Go for mute, go for mute. So go for Ubuntu and then come down. I'm going to allow all, allow HTTPS, create it. And one more we observed yesterday during the Linux class, the CentOS, most of the repositories, they are started removing. I don't know how many of you are aware. CentOS almost all support, all repository, everything is almost going day by day. They are removing it because they almost going with a different direction. So those who want to start the Linux based understanding, please start with Rocky Linux. Already most of the cloud vendors they are added, which is completely free, like a CentOS, almost same. You won't feel any difference. Mode 1. Probably I'll just try to take some quick session, maybe in the weekdays. Even if you miss it, you can watch it later. So I'm just going to allow HTTP, allow HTTPS, Ubuntu, and 2 CPU, 4 GB memory. Yes, this is the minimum requirement. Create it. I'm going to say create instance. I'm going to say node 2. I'm going for the OS selection. So let's go with Ubuntu and 18 and allow full access. say create. So we'll wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Let's get a provision.
So now what we are trying to achieve, Ajay, on application in Kubernetes and migrating it. Is it?
Hello?
So it got created. Now what we can do is we can log in master, we can log in node 1, we can log in node 2. So what I'm going to show is the scenario. I'll just first explain. There is some person said how to, if I have a newer version, or if I just change something, how to deploy without any impact in the Kubernetes microservices environment. Okay. To do that, first, I hope everyone is seeing my whiteboard, right? So first you need to have some basic Kubernetes environment. Assume you have a production environment. Okay. In this current environment, we have a one master, we have a one worker node, we have a one another worker node. Okay. So based on this, we are creating a cluster. So now the cluster is active. Kubernetes cluster is active. Now there is a repository, Docker Hub. Docker Hub. Okay. So what we are going to do is whenever the application related or anything, there will be a application or team. They are sitting here. What they are doing, they are keep on developing. They are keep on creating the latest error-free, bug-free images. They are pushing it to different tag, say version 1.0, or I'm just giving example version 2.0. Like this. You all agree this? You all agree this? You all agree this or not? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, so now we are running this version. Okay, there is a namespace we created, and in that namespace we are running this version 1.0. But there is a issue. There is a bug. So developer fixed the code, and the DevOps team or who is managing the infrastructure. So they created this version 2.0 and they pushed it. But now the challenge is I want to recreate with the newer version of application, but I should not impact. Already there is impact, but I should not shut down the entire environment and deploy this. I need to gradually take this, replace this, take this, replace this, take this, replace this. So I need to roll out gradually, right? How to do this? Okay, that is what we are going to see it. Assume I'm going to take a 3 versions. Okay, maybe we can take out. So the Nginx version, and version. How do I check? Going for here, hub.docker.com, hub.docker.com, hub.docker.com. Okay, and say sign in. Okay, so I'm going to search Nginx. Okay, I'm coming here. So we have a lot of tags, right? So we have a lot of tags. So we will take some of the tags from here. We need at least 3 or something. So we will take something. So what all we can take? We can take this 1.2.0 Perl version. And also we can take 1.21.6 Alpine. And also we can take 1.2.0.2. All okay, we can take this 3 versions, correct? Say for example, first we will deploy this version, then we will assume there is an issue, so we will roll out this, then we will assume there is an issue, we will roll out this. Okay, so now I'm going here. First we need to deploy the Kubernetes. Of course, there is a easiest way to deploy, but I never prefer, while you starting your career, I never prefer to go with the automatic car. So come down. Because the problem is people are going with the simplest way. At the end, you will struggle a lot during your showcase, your experience, during your issue troubleshooting. So I'm just going here. First, we will make all as a root. I'm going to make all as a root. So simple, you need to copy one by one. Don't copy everything together. That is where even last week also one person from this internship group, he keep on said there is an issue. So simple, I asked him to recreate the fresh machine. I taken a zoom. Exactly, I did the copy paste. It is working. So while learning, don't rush up. So go for node 1 and go for node 2, and I'm just copying this to add the key. Just copying this to add a key. Now I'm just going to add this repository. Then we will update apt-get update. Okay, so now I'm going to install the required packages. I'm going to install the required packages. I'm going to install the required packages. Okay, and then just put a wait for it. It is still is taking time. So I'm just going to put it as a hold because we will enable only the necessary one. Okay, now we need to install the Docker packages. And then we need to add the key, the package repository key. Repository. Okay, now I'm going to install Docker Community Edition. Okay, so now we need to add this station file for logging. Basically, we are allocating the resource pool. Okay, I'm just enabling and starting and restarting it. Okay, so we almost finished everything. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to stick with master because I clearly said master node because we are going to make master machine as a Kubernetes master. Come down. I need to initialize with one network. Enter it. Wait for some time. So you need to keep this because from where you are going to run from different Linux machine means you need to make sure this file copied and you are giving the relevant ownership everything. So we are going to do this from the same machine. So I'm just copying and giving the relevant permission. And also we need to give what is there. So we need to apply some drivers, network driver. Okay, created. Now what we are going to do is we are going to copy this and run it. But before that, watch -n1 𝐂𝐥𝐨𝐶TL get nodes. Okay, master only ready. Now, so I'm just going to put it the node 1, wait for it, node 2, wait for it, and come to master. So both are now joining. So the process is going on. So node 1 is joined and status is ready, and node 2 is also ready. So now we have the working Kubernetes setup. Now what we are going to do is we need to go and deployments. Okay, you go to deployments. Okay, so here first we will open the commands. I will just explain. So there is a two example. So we will go with one example. So you do it later with another example. So what is there in this file? First we will apply. Maybe we can copy this. Are you able to see this file? Basically, what I'm doing is we are deploying the deployment resource under name Facebook. Namespace is Facebook. So we are mentioning rolling update. Rolling update means you should not go and straight away replace it. Wait for it, and then wait for it, replace, wait for it, replace. So we are gradually going and replacing. And what is that we are going to do? First, we are going to do this version, Nginx 1.18 alpha. Probably we can take this version, or we can go and edit this file. Okay, we can go and first we will check this version is available or not. Okay, so the version is not there. So let's go with this version itself. Okay, let me go do one thing. Instead of this one, there is this file. So go to deployments. So deployment facebook.yaml. So I'm just going to open up. I'm going to edit it. So Nginx 1.8 all fine. Instead of this, we can go with 1.20 Perl first. 1.20 Perl. So now we will do one thing. We will just refresh this. So definitely it is going to be. Oh, wait. Class 9 deployments. Okay, we will do one thing. We will just again open up the commands. This one, Facebook, copy, go here, paste and go. Why it's there? We have changed deployment-facebook.yaml. Come down. It's changed everything. I think it's a different file. So class 9. This also class 9 deployments, deployment 1, deployment facebook.yaml. Okay, I'm just going to deployments, deployment Facebook. Yeah, it's changed. It's okay. We will first proceed it. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go for the class 9 deployments and commands. First, we will apply this. Okay, copy this. So basically this file will deploy this web server and they are going to expose the service in 32001. So I'm just going for master. I'm just going to go for it. So now we will open up our window, master window. in another area also. I don't think we need a node 1 and node 2 because we need more masters to see the exact output. Okay, so here sudo su watch -n, sorry, watch -n 𝐵CTL get all -n Facebook -o wide. So we will just, there is a spelling mistake. Sorry, on every second. So let's wait. So there is no namespace. So we will create the namespace. 𝐵CTL create ns Facebook. So there is no resources inside. Let's okay. So now what we'll do is we will apply this. Okay, enter it. So the moment it's applied, see here. So there is a, I think the image version is 1.2.0. Okay. We'll do one thing. We will apply. Still it's going. I don't know why, what is the problem? But anyway, we will just download it. wget and VI editor, one -deployment, come down. There is a, so go here, 1.2.0 -Perl. Okay, because we need a Nginx. So Nginx colon, because this is the tag. So we need to mention the Nginx version here. Nginx version here. Go here. See this. We will apply it again. Sorry. We will apply it again. 𝐵CTL apply -f one -deployment. Okay, then we will go here. See, now it is running. You all agree, right? So there is a version. Which version is running? Currently, we will take this and put it Nginx 1.20 -Perl. So I'm going to say Nginx colon 1.20 -Perl. You all agree, right? Can you confirm in the chat? Yes, Muthu, there is a typo. So Nginx colon 1.20, correct? So now we will, what is our expectation? We will assume there is an issue. So our developer or who is creating the fix, they are fixing it and they are building this image. They are storing it. We seen how to push it. So they have pushed. So they given a confirmation to us. So now our responsibility is to roll out this in production. Okay. So I will explain the other way of method next week. Okay, we will do it that in the Azure Kubernetes next week. So now what we are going to do is we are going to here We'll remove all things. So I'm going for a deployment. I'm going for a command. So now we already started watching this. Even you can go with describe deploy, but anyway, we go with the all. If we want, we can also open one more putty window. So the more putty window, the more you will get more clear understanding. So now I'm going to say sudo su. I'm just going for this. So let's go and say what is there in this. So I'm just going here. Okay, so -n. Okay, Facebook is the namespace. So let's maximize this so that I can execute again. See here, I want to see a complete description of this namespace. So there is a nginx, okay, which namespace Facebook, and when deployed and everything you will get it. Minimum 3, and what is the version? Everything you will get. What is a port? Okay, so this you will see complete information. Okay, we'll do another further one. So you can even go with the individual one, or straight away you can go get all. That is what we are running in this. Keep on, because we need to see changes. Now, to understand the rollout, delete one part. Before delete, in another master SSH window, keep run and the watch. So we already running. So we'll do one thing. We'll go here. We'll take this. Okay, we will just come out of this. Instead of watch, we will just one time you run it and then you take this output. So take this pod. Okay, now you run it. Okay, now what is there in this? 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL delete this one. So what we are going to do is we are going to say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL delete. Sorry. 𝐴CTL delete pod now -n, which namespace? Facebook. Okay, the moment you deleted, you immediately come here and see. You come here and see. Oh, okay. So again, there is a. Can we check? There is a 84D5. No. So we'll do one thing. We will go and delete, and then we will see in the backend. 54D99, 584D5. Now 66998. See, there is a terminating and quickly it's getting created. Correct. So now we will proceed further. So we have now we need to keep change this one. So 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get part. Now come back to here. Yes. It's getting created. So go to deployments. There is a one more commands. So before going to this, you do all this to make yourself familiar, at least one version. Come down. So we already go running get all resources. Okay. You need to first apply and then you change it and then you go for it. Come down. You need to change the version and then you need to go and deploy. Right now, what we are going to do is we are going to change the version. Where we need to change it? The YAML file. Go and I'm opening the I'm opening the one deployment.yaml. Where we need to change it? This one. So what we need to change it? We need to change this version. But before I'm going to apply, I will show you. I'm going to save it. Go for here. See, there is a only one version, right? There is a only one version. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to check the versions, right? So we can take it for more versions and more on the fly. So now what we can do is we can apply it. 𝐵CTL apply, okay, -f. The moment you applied, immediately you come here and see there is a one version. There is another version also getting, right? Getting your environment related configuration. So everything is slowly getting rolling out. Now all versions are the newer version. The same way, what we are going to do is we are going to edit again. We are going to configure the newer version. We are going to configure 1.20.2. Okay, we will save it. The moment you applied, go here, see here, there is a third version also executed. So slowly getting rolled out. And at the end of the day, it will replace with newer version parts. The container will be newer version. See, gradually it is getting overwritten. Okay, now what we can do is, can we check 32,001? Go to your any of the IP address, master IP address, open it, 32,001. Okay, so I could have checked earlier also whenever you deploy any new version, but it'll work. Now go for here. Now you can go and roll out. Okay, I'm going to say rollout deployment Nginx. Which namespace? Facebook namespace. Successfully rolled out. So go and check the history. See, there is a revision. So now you need a different version because you want to roll back or you want to go from one version to another version. Okay, so go here. You need to go and replace it. Okay, copy this. Go here. Go here. So I want to go revision 1. Okay, before you press enter, keep the mouse here. The moment you enter, click this. See here, the version is changing, right? You can go from 1 to last or last to 1. It's up to you. But the only thing is you need to decide which one you need. Okay, we will do one thing. Actually, it's a one history Yes. So we will go. Actually, we should have put instead of 1, we should have put some different version. Okay, so wait. Because we were in that, again we have put. So wait, so there is a different version. So it still yes. So now it is the newer version got rolled out, but I'm going to do that again. History. Now we will go to 5th version. 5th revision. So the moment we put, automatically it is getting the 1. So you need to first, okay, I think again and again now the same version we are putting it. What is the history 1? We will go with the 4. Let's slowly little bit down. And what is the version history? So it's correct. So now, can you raise your hand and can you ask? Probably we'll have some discussion here. Raj or Muthu. So basically, first what you need to do, anyone can tell me? If you want to have immediate rollout, then what first thing you need to do? Srini or Jim or Kishore, Abbas, Akhil.
So for any update, like we'll have the master to the latest version first, then all the clients. So
No, first thing you
when
need to
we
make sure all the fixed one, you need to first create and make sure you have it in your repository first. Yes, Jim, go ahead, Jim. I made you as a presenter. Yes, Jim, you can unmute. Abbas, you can also unmute. Yeah, proceed, Raj.
Let the Jim speak, Vijay.
I think he is not able to speak. Yeah, you go ahead in between.
Can you repeat once actually? Because we have to create the
See,
basic.
first thing, what we need to do, I'll just delete this. So you understand the cluster creation, all the part. So now, first thing, we had one version, correct? First thing, we had one version 1, correct?
Correct.
So this version I have deployed in out of cluster, correct?
Correct.
So
Correct.
my manager called and the customers called. Okay, there is an issue going on. So developer team immediately fixed the things and they made it as a version 2 and they pushed it to the Docker repository. You are getting it?
Yeah, getting.
So the version 2, but you need to deploy without any issues on the fly, correct?
Mm.
So if you go and see this YAML file, there is a 2 option. One is rolling update and recreate, correct?
Yeah.
So which one you will mention normally? For testing purpose, you can go for recreate, but in production, normally go for a rolling update. Why? Because
Already
it will,
exists.
yeah, it is running. So
Running.
it is handling some transaction. So rolling update
Yeah.
means it will create one and it
One.
will wait. Once it's spread out, then so you observed, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there was a 5 is running, suddenly 2 got terminated, correct?
Mm.
So what happened? Because the two are maybe some request is getting processed, correct?
Correct.
So the rolling update automatically went to here. First, it created one and waited. So once it's freed up, you replace and get rid of it. You replace and get rid of it. But it will create one thing and wait for thing. And while replacing, it will also create one more. That is why when you observed here, immediately first got terminated, but immediately there was a 2 got provisioned. Totally, it was a 5. Have you observed?
Observed.
Yeah. So, and one more thing is, how do I know what all version in this deployment set? See here. So at any point of time, you know what all versions. So how do I mention how many versions? So you can just go. Of course, you can go with how many replicas you want. So come down. So you can also expose it to, but node port I don't prefer. Only for testing purpose you go for a node port, and the other one we have to go with the load balancer. Okay, go above and rolling update. What does this mean? This is why I keep on asked to see this. So what is
2 times it surge? What is called it?
So it will create a 2 and it will wait one by one. It will replace so that it will be very fast.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So this value, it depends on your project or your deliverables. You need to decide how much. So, but this value you need to go and feed it here only. Okay, and the revision history you can also mention according to your requirement.
Can we see every version?
Yeah, go ahead. Hello, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. See every for Nginx, for example, Nginx is there. Okay, rolling update is there. Maximum surge is we take 2. Okay.
Yeah.
That 2 times it will be go and check it out possible, and maximum vulnerability is 1. If we put -1, then what happen? Yeah, man.
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Means -1 is the value we can put. -1 also.
Where?
Maximum vulnerability.
I never tried out. Max unavailable, you are saying?
Yeah. Can we put -1? Just try once, please.
What you are trying to achieve here?
No, I just want the trying this means we can roll out in single one also, single phase also, no vulnerability. One time out.
But in production, how you will get the validation like passed out?
Yeah, that is a means. Yeah, it will be sucked somewhere.
Yeah. So even if you want to do some ad hoc one, you no need to go every time the YAML file. But I would strongly recommend to go with the YAML file. But what I'm saying is, if you want to go that and edit, you can directly go and say deployment apps. Go here, kubectl, okay, edit and hyphen namespace Facebook. Okay, here also you can go. You can also go in, but always go and edit in the YAML file and update. Why? Because anytime, even after your shift, people can roll back. But yes, Raj. So normally what he's asking is normally that option is not recommended, Raj. Okay. So, and one more thing I just want to ask everyone, whatever you are seeing, from where it is getting displayed. So that means whatever we are seeing, whatever we are applying the configuration, somewhere it is getting stored. Somewhere it is getting maintained. Who is that in Kubernetes? Raj, everybody? Yeah, etcd. So the etcd is the brain. where you are doing everything. See, simple. We will do one thing. We will go and say replicas is going to be. I need a replica, but don't edit like this in production. So I'm going to say 7. So please be ready. The moment you pressed enter, so it's a live configuration. So don't, if you want, you can play only during the testing or during the learning, but not in the live environment. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.